Hi Prasoon, welcome back to the FoodYoga Nutrition Talk. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much, Ankush. I'm great. How are you?
All good, all good. So today we have a question from a yogi who is from New York, and she has been doing yoga for quite some time now. So she posed a question that she wants to increase the duration of a pose. I mean, she practiced multiple asanas, and she's looking at holding a pose for a longer duration. She has tried multiple things, but I guess to no avail. So she has asked us this question. So, what will be your suggestion to her?
Thank you, Ankush. It's a great question because I think all of us as yogis, we have our own goals and I would say something that we want to accomplish from our yoga practice every day. So, yoga, you don't really compete against external matrices, or you don't really need to really look at how and what other people are able to do. I think yoga is really about competing against yourself. So, first of all, when somebody says that I want to hold a pose, the holding needs to be defined. When I say defined, I think everybody will have their own capacity to hold specific poses for either very short or very long duration of time. So personally speaking, for example, there are certain poses that I can hold. For example, Shirshasana, which is the headstand, I can hold for about 15 minutes.
Okay.
But there are many other poses which I'm not even able to hold for about, let's say, 2 minutes. So for example, there is something called there's a variation to Virasana, which I'm not able to hold for more than 2 minutes. I'm still kind of working on that. So I think all of us have our own journey, and in this own journey, we should only look at ourselves as our own benchmark. So first of all, when you actually look at different poses of asana, look at asanas where you can hold a little longer, write them down, how much duration that you can actually maximum hold those asanas, and then also write the asanas where you're not able to hold for a very long time. First, the most important thing that you can keep doing is you should keep setting your targets for every pose incrementally. So when I say incrementally, you may or may not want to basically set a target of going to 10 minutes if you have done something at 5 minutes. You can actually move from 5 to 7 and then 7 to 10, or maybe 5 to 7, then 7 to 8, or 7 to 9, and then 7 to 10. At times, your body and mind will actually help you to actually jump from 5 to 10 automatically. So I recommend that either you have a wall clock in front of you and you focus on the time. At times that could be distracting. The other thing you can do is you can actually chant mantras. So what I do when I am actually holding a pose, I chant a mantra which is the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, and I try to just focus on the mantra. So when I'm focusing on the mantra, I really don't think too much about time. But of course, you have to be very, very cautious when you're holding a pose, because at times some of these poses can lead to the fall. So your consciousness should be there, focused on your body and mind. At the same point of time, you could be chanting a mantra, or you could be looking at a watch or a clock in front of you. So I think that is how you should basically incrementally start increasing the duration of holding, and don't really think that why am I not able to hold something for 5 minutes and why is somebody else able to do that for about 20 minutes. That's a very subjective thing, and everybody has their own journey. There are times when you will be able to do something better than somebody else, and vice versa. So I think this is how we have to look at all the poses in terms of duration. But yes, holding a pose for a longer time will actually build your endurance at a specific strength and flexibility level. So at Sattviko, we talk about 6 pillars of yogic wellness, which is endurance, strength, flexibility, mind, balance, and spirituality. So typically speaking, when you are actually holding a pose, you are actually focusing on all these 6 pillars. But as you are able to hold a pose for longer and longer duration, you are able to basically improve your endurance at a certain level of flexibility and strength. So I think this is how your other pillars will also get developed. The other point I would like to mention is that when you actually look at improving your endurance, strength, and flexibility and balance, nutrition becomes again very important. So something that people really don't talk about, something people really don't care about. If your body is not balanced inside, when your body's fuel is not balanced, so a lot of people tend to eat more of proteins, tend to eat more of specific stuff. I say don't dissect the food. Look at food in totality. We've actually in the past discussed about the 5 elements of a yogic meal. So you should typically combine the 5 elements of a yogic meal properly, which would actually give you the right amount of nutrients. But at the same point of time, what you need is good fiber, because fiber is what leads to the digestion in your body. Of course, you need protein, but protein from the right sources. You don't need to have supplements in your body. Just have the right kind of foods, which are combined with the right kind of different kind of foods, so that you get all the macros and micros in the right proportion. You don't need to get any supplements. I don't recommend any supplements to people, because your body doesn't need beyond, let's say, about 55 to 60 grams of protein, even if you're doing good amount of yoga. For the heavy weight lifters, you need protein beyond that. But for a yogi, you really don't need that kind of protein. And that kind of protein, which is about 55 to 60 grams, you can easily get from the right kind of foods. And when I say right kind of foods, Sattviko's food yoga meal, what we have created, is one of the great formations which can actually give you the right amount of the macros and micros. It comes with about 20% of DV value of both protein and fiber, and all derived naturally. Plus the endurance meal, the endurance meal has tapioca as the base of it. Tapioca will actually give you the right amount of energy that you also need to hold a pose. So when you're holding a pose, you need really a lot of endurance of your muscles, and that endurance you can get from Sattviko's endurance food yoga meal, which also comes loaded with other macros and micros. And of course, it doesn't have any sort of artificial stuff inside it. Plus, we don't put anything which is not the right food. We don't put any supplements in the food. So combine the right food, which is a balanced food, with your focus, with your right yoga practice. Grow incrementally, and don't compare yourself with anybody else, but just yourself every day. Just try to compete with yourself every day. I think that's the right way to improve the holding time.
Got it. So what I hear from you is, one, choose your asana, and in which asana you want to build your strength or endurance for. Increment gradually, and last, eat right. So eat balanced protein and fiber, and plan your diet right. Don't rely on supplements, right? So thank you, Prasoon. This is a good suggestion for our viewers. And all our viewers, if you have any question you want to ask Prasoon or any other of our yoga expert, you can always comment, DM, or email us, whatever suits you. We keep the information of the viewer confidential for their own concern. So yes, please reach out to us if you have any questions. Thank you, Prasoon.
Thank you so
have a
much.
good day.